This week has been, yes, another busy week in Gemini Stitch's crazy sewing world. I've been to an amazing embroidery retreat and we're going to have a sneaky peek at what I got up to there. And I've bought a couple of new patterns. Oops. Where do we start this week? Well, I've not spent a lot of time in my sewing space because I've been up in Lancaster at an embroidery retreat that I attend, run by the lovely Julie and the amazing Christine. Thank you, ladies. Had an amazing time. So we're gonna whiz over to my embroidery sewing shenanigans and then pop back and discuss what my plans are and some sewing patterns that I haven't been able to resist. So let's go on a journey to Lancaster and I will see you at the other end. It's Friday morning at 8:30, frog in my throat, and I'm already in my green loungewear set, ready to set it off for my sewing retreat. Embroidery retreat, sorry. So I just thought I'd run through what we're going to make because when I get there it's going to be full on and I'll probably forget. I've got everything in my cute project bags. One of them has got the summer version of the Tree of Life just in case I finish everything else. So we're not going to talk about that one. But the other two are projects that have been supplied by the lovely Julie and Christine who run the retreat. So you also get your projects in this sewing embroidery retreat as well. The first one is this cute purse. I'll pop an image up here of it. So it's a purse with a sewing machine on. Let's show you the fabrics I'm going to be using. So for the lining, I'm using some of the Scraps Guthrie & Garney Summer Blooms, I think it was called, fabric in the teal. That's the wadding that I need. And then the outside is going to be in this for the top bit, and then turquoise stripes for the bottom. So those two are going to go together. It has got a sewing machine on it, so I'm going to do my sewing machine in some scraps of some Tula Pink fabric. So wish me luck with that one. Now number two is all in here. I'm not getting it out because we'll do the reveal hopefully on Monday in my vlog. It's going to be my March bag because I do a bag a month, and it's a Japanese obi style bag. I'll pop an image of what it looks like on Sweet Pea Designs up here. So this is what we're going to make, and it's all packed up. Everything I need to make it in my project bag. So I'm going to set off now up the M6. It's going to take about 48 minutes, and if I remember I'll do a bit of filming when I get there. See you in a bit. Okay, I know we all like a nosy of a good hotel room, and these are really spacious. So I've got a nice dressing table there and a mirror, which is a plus because you don't always get a mirror in a bedroom, weirdly. Another seating area over there. Flat screen TV. The view isn't very good out the window, so we'll not look over there. And look at this cute little baby on my bed. I think we're going to call him. Looks a bit like a Boris to me. Let me know what you'd call this dog. So beautiful, really good size, king size I think, bed. Lots of wardrobe space. Got all my clothes hung up. There's even an iron and an ironing board. You know we love an iron and an ironing board when you've got nice clothes to put on. And a nice bathroom. Well, that's day one done. I've just shown you a little view of my room, which is rather spacious, I've got to say. And before I get changed for dinner, because in with your package you get 2-course lunch, which was yummy, and then we get a 3-course evening meal as well. Don't know where I'm going to put it all, but I'm sure I'll manage. And I have done a bit of embroidery today as well. I've started the sewing machine zip-up pouch. Now, I thought this was going to be a quick make, but it's taken me all day, and all I've done is the 2 panels. But I'm hoping about an hour tomorrow should see the end of this, but we will see. So let's show you what I've actually done. This is the first panel that I did. How gorgeous is that? So I've used some stripy turquoise fabric for the base out of my scrap bin. And then the background is also out of my scrap bag as well. And it's a Robert Kaufman cotton sateen, and then a bit of Tula pink for the sewing machine, and loads of embroidered flowers on there. So that's one side. And then the other side is a little bit different. So it's still got the stripes. Can you spot what I've done different? I've done the sewing machine in a different colour. And I nicked that idea off one of the other ladies. Yes, I'm good at copying, and it's the best form of flattery, apparently. I did say, do you mind? And thank you for the idea. But there we go. So let me know which will be the best side. The one with the cream sewing machine or the one with the pink sewing machine. So they're going to go together, kind of like that. And then you're going to box the corners, and there's going to be a nice zip at the top, and it's fully lined as well. So maybe it's going to take me more than an hour to finish that. But we'll see. I'm going to take my time, enjoy the process. But, oh, I'm going to have a gorgeous zip-up bag at the end of it, which I was going to use in my sewing room. But I might use it for my special Temple Spa toiletries. I'll see what size it comes out, and then I'll decide later. So, gonna go and have a quick shower now, get changed, and then I'll show you what I'm wearing this evening before we go out. See you later, guys. Ta-da! All changed. So this evening's outfit, this evening's outfit is the tulip dress from So Different Patterns. I made this probably 2 years ago now. And it's been done in the So Different 100% linen fabric. Absolutely love this dress. Perfect for this time of year where it's not quite spring, not quite winter, because I've done the sleeves 3/4 length with a little cute green cuff on. And then the bottom has got a lime green band on it as well. So all ready for a yummy meal and some great sewing chat with some wonderful ladies. So I'm going to take a bit of a break from filming, and I will see you all tomorrow for more embroidery fun. So didn't record all day today, it's the end of day 2. Had a cheeky lie-in this morning because I never sleep well when I'm in a strange bed, to be honest. So yeah, nice lie-in this morning, down in the sewing room for 10 o'clock, and got cracking on my little sewing machine pouch, and I finished it. Yay! So I'll just grab it, and then you can bask in my glory with me. So here it is. What do we think? A bit bright, but that's me all over, isn't it? So I'll run through the fabrics that I've used. I've used some, I think it's John Calder viscose sateen from Rainbow Fabrics for the back, top fabric on both sides, some stripy quilting cotton from my stash for the base. And then I've used some Tula Pink fabric for the sewing machine on one side, and then a bit of cream linen jacquard for the sewing machine on the other side. It's got a zip. Oh my goodness, that was a head scratcher and a half. First time I put a zip in the hoop, which means it's done on the embroidery machine. Yeah, so zip sewn in the hoop. Will I do it again? Depends how much time I've got. I kept saying at various stages through sewing this in the hoop on the embroidery machine, it'd have been a damn sight quicker to do it as a standard sewing machine, but it's done. And then the lining on the inside is again some scraps, and it's the Happy Blooms fabric from Guthrie and Garnet in the teal. So that's a nice soft viscose satin on the inside. So I'm actually going to put all my cleansing products in my dressing room all in one cute little bag, and nice and bright it will look in there too. So one little zip bag finished, and you'd think if you were sewing this you'd crank about 50 of these out in a day, but because it's all embroidered, I don't know if you can see, there's not only the machine, there's all these little flowers that are embroidered all over it. There's lots and lots of satin stitch, and I've had to do that twice. I know, twice. So I'm happy with that. Plus lots of chit chat, lots of chatting and getting inspiration from the other ladies who were there as well. There's 28 of us in that room, and it doesn't feel like it. I thought it was going to be really noisy, really full on, and I wouldn't be able to concentrate, but it's actually not that bad because the room is more than big enough for the people who are in there. So brilliant. There we go. And then the other thing that I've done today is make a start on the Japanese obi bag. I'm doing that in linens, and I'll just slot in here a little bit of my machine doing its stuff, because we all know, don't we, machine embroidery is easy, the machine does it for you. So there we go, day 2 done. Now I've got another loungewear set on today. Comfort was the objective for this weekend, so for the Olo pants and the neige top from Closet Core. Got a few compliments on it, which is always lovely, isn't it? And I think a few people are going to be going buying this if they can find it. I have a feeling there is some at First for Fabrics, but don't hold me to it. So what next? I'm going to do a bit of knitting and chill for an hour, then get ready to go out for our 3-course evening meal again. Last night's was beautiful. Didn't video, didn't take any pics, too busy enjoying myself, and I'll probably do the same again tonight. So the next time you see me will be Sunday morning, and plans for what to do, because we're here until about 4 o'clock. I think I'll probably leave about 3 and get a load more embroidery done. So see you all soon. So I'm ready to go for dinner in my Itch to Stitch Ladera dress, and can't remember what the jacket's called. It's Itch to Stitch as well anyway. The jacket's been made in a lilac rib jersey, and then the dress is in psychedelic, I suppose, orange colours, and it's a viscose twill that I got from Little Ed Fabrics quite a while back. I'll just step back, it's quite a long dress, so 3/4 length, what do you call that, mid-axie? I haven't got a clue, but I like the name, mid-axie. So yeah, off down for some scram, and then an early night tonight, I think. Last day tomorrow. I'm shattered, so get something to eat, come back, early night. Night night everybody. So as you can see, I had an amazing time in Lancaster, but I'm back home now, all unpacked and planning what I'm going to be sewing next week. Now on the retreat, I set myself, as usual, a humongous task and I didn't achieve it. I did make the zip up sewing machine bag, which took a lot longer than I thought for a little zip up bag, but you'll have seen images of that in my Lancaster shenanigans section. And the other thing that I made a start on was the Japanese obi bag, which is a beautiful bag. I'll pop a stock image of it up here. I decided that I was going to use all my summer linen fabric to create a bag that would go with my linen capsule. So the hardest part, or the one that took the most time, was the decorative panel on the front, and I've done that. So this is my decorative panel. Pop of colour or what? So I've used my green linen for the background, and then all the applique has been done using the patterned linens that I'm going to be sewing with this spring and summer. So that's the embroidered panel, and then on the front you have two panels, a patterned, heavily patterned, and a plainer panel. So I've decided to do mine two-tone. So the plain panel there has been embroidered with a green thread to match the green background, and it's been done in some of the cream or oatmeal fabric that I've got in my linen stash. So they're going to go side by side, and then on the back they're just two that are like that. You can do another embroidered panel, but I'm not doing it, it took that long. So there's two of these, so I'm doing one green and one in the oatmeal, and then I'm going to put a zip pocket on the outside in the back. It's not in the pattern, but I like a pocket for my phone and my keys that's easy to get to. So I like it on the back of my bag. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to get finished this week. Fingers crossed. I've just got one more back panel to do, and then the side and base, and sew it all together. So should get that done in an afternoon, shouldn't I? Famous last words. So that is the first thing that I'm going to get done this week. When I went up to see Sharon in the Lakes and we went to Jenny Stitch's social, I made a star on a robe, and it's been stuck in its project bag ever since. It is the Closet Core Veronique robe, and I've made it in some fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics. So I've put some bright pink cuffs on it, and I've just got the collar and all down the front to do, and the pockets to put on. So that's all going to be in the pink as well. Oh, and the sash to make in pink. So I want to get this finished to take to my retreat down in Worcestershire in 10 days time. So that is the garment sew for this week. So it's finishing off this Veronique robe. And the third thing that I'm going to be playing around with this week is to try and get block one of my quilt, which I'll put an image of up here. Try and get that so that it worked right. I did do a couple of them and they were okay, but they weren't perfect. So I want to perfect block one. I'm going to cut some scrap fabric out and have a play around with it, and then move on to the precious Love from Beth fabric, but only when I'm 100% happy with the practice ones. So that's what I'm planning to sew. Slow sewing, finishing a garment off, playing with my quilt, and finishing the obi bag. And that's it for sewing this week. So I did buy a couple of patterns while I was away, because while your machine's busy doing its thing embroidering, what's a girl to do? I resisted fabric, but I could not resist these two patterns. The first one was the Style Arc Bronte dress, and it's been out for ages, but I've looked at it, hummed and hard about it, and I watched Kristen from the Dahlia Society, and one of her ladies, she does a monthly makers gallery, and one of them had made a few of the Bronte dress, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do this as part of my linen capsule for sure. So I did buy the Bronte dress, and a few images of it will have been popping up here. Now, there are quite a few options with this. There's different sleeves that you can use. You can have a round neck or a V-neck. And I quite fancy also trying it with a square neck top. I love a good square neck. And I'll use one of my other patterns and just trace it out on it. Do a bit of hacking, why not? So the Bronte dress. And then the second one was a pattern from Chalk and Notch, and it's their rivet blouse or shirt. Images will be popping up here of it, but as soon as I saw this, I was in love with it. I love the detail on the back, instead of just being, it's messing around with stripes, which I love to do, but then on the back, that yoke does that as well, which I'm so interested and excited to see how that's going to work. It has a drop sleeve, which I'm going to have to be careful with because I'm narrow shouldered, so I will have to raise that and do a narrow shoulder adjustment for sure. You can have short sleeves or long sleeves on it. The yoke on the front is slanted again. I just think the attention to detail is beautiful. And I've had a quick read of the instructions, and they have you doing French seams throughout this blouse as well. So that's going to be a bit of a meaty sew, and probably one that I take on my retreat with me. But I know exactly what fabric I'm using, so just let me grab it. So this is the fabric I want to use. I bought it from Higgs and Higgs. Now it's a double gauze, which I rarely use, but this feels absolutely beautiful. So it's broad stripes on one side, and then on the reverse, it's very narrow pinstripes, and I think that's going to work really well with the contrast of the stripes. So I'll probably do the narrower stripes at the top and then the broad stripes at the bottom. They have got this in quite a few colours, so pop over and have a nosy. So a nice easy slow sewing week this week, fingers crossed. I don't go down any more rabbit holes and I just stick to what I'm planning on doing. But you know what I'm like. Let's see what happens next week. On Thursday, the vlog is going to be my collab that I've done with the lovely Vanessa from Solulu Rask. We did a pattern swap, so you're going to see the reveal of my Tilly and the Buttons Noah pinafore and how I got on with Tilly and the Buttons, who I rarely use, so find out about that, and also the pattern that I sent to Vanessa. So I will see you on Thursday for more sewing shenanigans. And before I disappear, I've just got a little special message for a lovely gentleman who I met for the first time at the embroidery retreat, and it's Julie's husband, whose first words out of his mouth to me were, get this, "Oh, it's nice to see you not in bed." Imagine my reaction to that. It's a good job I've got a sense of humour. I didn't quite catch it at first. You know, you think you've heard somebody wrong, but Julie made sure I knew what he'd said. She said she was mortified, but it was funny. So, just a little message for Julie's husband. Night night, sleep tight, and watch the bed bugs don't bite. I'll see you all on Thursday, and then next week on Monday for more sewing updates. So take care, have a great sewing week, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.